Alright, good morning folks. It's time for another episode of the Jiggee Jon Show, and I've got a new guest in today, and it is a very interesting gentleman by the name of, come on in buddy, come on in. It is Malaysia's very first Chindian comedian.
Hey, hi everyone. Thanks John for making this happen.
No problemo. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the gentleman known as Gajen Nad. Did I get that right?
Yep, correct, yep.
So what is it short for? Is that your full name?
No, full name is Gajen Nad.
There we go.
But
So
marketing lah.
Marketing, of course. Marketing is key. So you're pure Chindian lah.
Pure as in 50-50 lah. That's
Yeah, because I've got friends who are Chindian, but like all that grandmother
some
story.
of them like 2% and all that.
But you're pure.
I'm pure. Like
So
some Indians from Malacca, they say they're Portuguese, you know. But they got like fucking 1% are Portuguese.
So your father's what, Malayali?
My father is Ceylonese actually.
You're a Kotte?
I think my great grandfather is because I haven't met my grandfather. I haven't met my grandfather also. But from what I know, I think they used to be from Ceylon lah.
Okay, but Sinhalese or Tamilian?
Tamil lah.
So that means half of you is my gang lah. We're Tamil Tigers. Okay, then you can sit in the car.
That's a hot topic now lah, but I want to make it very clear.
Then you can sit in the car lah.
That group died already, I just saw you.
No, of course. And your mom is what?
Okay, so the interesting is my mom is full Chinese, but she got adopted by Indian parents.
Oh wow.
That means she can actually speak Tamil.
Oh whoa.
Yeah,
wow.
but she can't speak Chinese. Yeah, so this is very interesting because a lot of people they relate language with genes.
Fair
but
enough.
I keep telling people that language nothing to do with genes, it's your environment.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, like for me, I can speak a bit of Hokkien, but people straight away relate it to my mother.
Oh wow.
But it's not because of that, it's because of Penang.
No, of course. So your mom cannot speak Chinese at all?
A bit of Hokkien lah, but even that's not because Chinese, it's because of Penang lah.
But
my parents are in Penang.
Okay. But would she know her ancestry? Hokkien, is it?
Okay, so this is where the issue lies. Apparently, I thought I was a one-off scenario, but turns out there are quite a number of Chindians who are like similar to me. Most of the times the mother, where a few months old, she was given away to another family. The family adopted. So she has an adoption letter, but I'm not too sure what her real name is.
Oh, okay. Well,
it was during those days.
Understood. So are you the eldest or what?
No, third.
Oh boy. Wow.
Yeah, 4 in the family.
So how did that come about when you decided to hang up the gloves from corporate world and go full time into what you're doing?
I think my parents took it okay lah, because the thing is I was doing it part time and I was working at Accenture and they knew I'm a finance savvy guy.
Alright.
So they know I'm a very technical. They know I'm very disciplined. So I think they know lah that they knew, and somehow we used to work at Accenture and we do risk consulting, risk management.
Of course.
So they know lah that. They just asked me, okay, you're aware, got no EPF, got no social, your leg break, all you know, what to do. Okay, don't worry, I got it.
Okay, so let's backtrack a little bit. Yep. So you're now a full-time comedian.
Yep.
I know you do vlogs as well.
Yeah, well, on and off,
Yeah, on and off. I mean, almost weekly, no?
Oh, that one, yeah, that video, the what's going on.
Yeah, aren't you doing that weekly now?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, correct. But let's backtrack a little bit. So where did you grow up? You grew up in Penang.
Yep, grew up in Penang, 20 years, then 10 years I moved to KL.
Understood. So after high school, what did you do?
After high school, I did A-levels in KDU, which I sort of flunked it. Because SPM, I got 9 years. Right? Apparently, SPM, if you're a high flyer, you can go anywhere in the world, but bullshit lah. I went into Cambridge A-levels, I screwed up. So children, please study hard lah.
Then after that, what did you do?
After that, I did engineering in Monash.
Okay.
So I was thinking between Nottingham and Monash.
Right.
But if I went to Nottingham, it was in a bloody jungle in Semenye.
That's right.
Which is like a different continent lah. You might as well go to Thailand or Singapore. You know? So I told myself, no, I want to be in a city. So I chose Monash.
Okay.
And interestingly, I'm glad I chose Monash because that's actually where I sort of started doing stand-up.
Okay.
So I entered a talent competition.
How long ago was this?
This was 2009. But I wasn't officially doing stand-up lah. I was just trying it out lah.
Yeah, but so that would be your first entry point.
Yeah, I can say lah. Yeah.
Okay.
So 2009, they had this talent competition. I initially wanted to dance because I like dancing. You know, like just follow from YouTube videos and just dance lah.
Interesting.
And that time, that was also the year Michael Jackson passed away.
Oh, that's
so
right.
I was doing Michael Jackson dance. But then I realized in every talent competition, it's always singing and dancing.
True.
So I thought, why not I just do something different? I tell some jokes. So I did some jokes and I got second. Then I uploaded a video, then people saw, then the university kept asking me back. And then in 2012, someone messaged me on Facebook and said, why don't you go public? Like, you know, really do a real stand-up show like in public.
Do you have that video of your first gig, your talent show?
I need to find lah.
You should put it up, dude, because look
When you're
at.
down, I'll bleed lah.
No,
I look
but
back, I feel like
yeah, but imagine to just not just you, but even currently the public can actually say, look at the journey in 11 years, the growth of someone. Why I say that is to show people when you put your heart and soul to it, how much a person can grow.
You're good, very positive thinking. My mother like you.
In 11 years, why do you think you're on my show?
Yeah.
I only bring people who've got a story. So the fact that you hung up your corporate gloves and took this leap of faith is the only reason why I want to talk to you.
Oh, okay.
No, because I'm all about people who are fighters.
Right.
Who purposely stare the devil in the eye and say, I'm coming on, I'm going to take you on.
Correct.
But that being life and challenges and in your case EPF and Sokso for the parents.
Correct.
So the Sondakarans can talk about the fact that my nephew and grandson is a good for nothing comedian Like it was me. I was the first black sheep of the family. I was a clown, right?
Yeah.
And in an Indian family, nobody can still wrap their head around it It's like my dad, my late father. 3 years ago, I took him for dinner. He's like, "Are you still clowning around?" And that was 17 years after I retired as a clown.
Oh.
He couldn't wrap his head around the fact what his son was doing, eldest son at that. So, anyways, coming back to you, where were we? Yeah, so you should put that video up, man. Try to dig it up.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Then in 2012, the guy messaged me. So I went and tried the show. At that time, there was a monthly show. This by LOL Events.
Okay, yes,
where
of
now
course.
they call themselves LOL Asia. I think.
LOL Asia, yeah.
They had a monthly show in Publica, the B, called Comedy Cow Cow. At that time, Jason Leong was the host.
Okay.
But he was also starting out a few years in. Rizal, Van Gazel, Kavin J, they were all a few years in, right?
Yep.
So they were like my seniors. So I went there. First gig I did went very well. I still remember Adam C was there, so he went and handshake me. And then after that I got invited back again to do another gig. And then after that, the third gig was a paid gig.
Okay.
Where it was no longer an open mic slot, it was like an opening performance slot.
Okay.
So I still remember I got paid at the time, and it was a big thing. I was a final year engineering student.
Okay.
And that time I said, you know what, this is a nice hobby, you can make some money and all that, but most importantly I enjoy it. So I just kept on doing it.
Right.
But interestingly, the first few years of doing stand-up comedy, it never came to my mind that this would be a career.
Okay.
So I was purely doing it for hobby, because the money for me is just like pocket money, whatever extra, it didn't.
Of course.
And then the fourth year, I started to, because that time I was in Accenture for 3 years a day, and in consultants, we love data, we love extrapolating, do all the graph and all that. So I started to, because I track my expenses, how much I earn from comedy, so I started to do some, find the trend line and all that. And I was thinking, hey, actually in a few years time, looking at the growth, this could be a possibility. So I had a vision there.
Of course.
I said, you know what, in 3 years time, I think I could actually leave my job. So actually the final year I gave myself was 2020, I think, or 2021 to leave my job.
Okay.
Yeah, but I left it in 2018.
There you
So
go.
it's like, And there are a few. This is a big question people ask me. What was the jump off point?
Correct. I was just gonna get to that.
Because you can make or break. So I always tell people, my number one was actually finance.
Of course.
A lot of people, they like to use motivation and all that. I said, okay, great, motivation is great, but I get motivated my first year. Am I going to leave my job? No. So I told them, the first one was when I found out that my comedy income exceeded my expenses. That's number one.
Okay.
And then number two, what was number two? I think that was the main one. Because it makes sense, because part-time,
of course.
part-time comedy income exceeded expenses. If you do full-time, most likely, even though it won't be double, but it will be an increase. So it does make sense. Yeah, and of course the rest came into play, where I had my car loan, my bank loan, I had credit cards. And the reason why I tell this is, people in performing arts generally, not all, their financial literacy is very low. Even people who are working 9 to 5 jobs, their financial literacy is very low.
That is true.
So a lot of people, when they leave their job, passion. Then when you want to go to apply for a loan, that's when you get screwed up. So for me, I'm glad I had everything in place. I had my investments, I had passive income, and blah blah blah. I got my what do you call it, emergency fund, everything all in place. So to be honest, ever since that jump, I never had a point where I was by the roadside, under the rain or something like that.
So, but that's an interesting point. So, given the fact that you're coming from, corporate world, and I think you should actually do a whole spiel on that. Of course.
Yeah, I thought of it. Yeah.
No, because just hearing you talk about it, you're actually on the ball there, very much nail on the head. Because I've been around long enough to see the performing arts industry of Malaysia, where people sometimes live paycheck to paycheck.
Correct, yeah.
And this is where financial literacy is super important. and being wise in investments or planning. And it's ironic that you came the back way. You had all that in your mind before you took that leap of faith.
Correct, yeah.
So I think it's quite interesting. So you might want to consider putting your first calling to work, and maybe just doing a little log on that, because I think it'll help a whole bunch of people. And I think not a lot of people take these things seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't want to be like America, where you come out of university and you're already in debt.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know how things work there.
There's a PTPT and they're not paying.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, well, fair enough. But at least they don't give out credit cards to 18-year-olds here, who swipe themselves to oblivion.
Property loans in US.
Yeah, so it's they basically choke you there. You come out, you hit the ground running, but you're already ready to die, financially, that is.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting that you would actually have analyzed it from that angle, and realized that the money you were making from making people laugh was actually superseding your monthly expenditures. So that was great. So that's been 2 years, coming up on 2 years now. Any regrets?
No, definitely no regrets. To me, I think life is too short to be in your comfort zone.
True.
Because when I told myself, if I make this jump, whether it goes good or bad, at least I have a story to tell. I know, you get what I mean? If you tell someone, I work 9 to 5 and do that, the story doesn't really hit you hard. You get
doesn't
what I mean?
resonate as well.
Yeah. But if you tell, I left my job, and the best part, people in Accenture, they are all very happy.
Of course.
So I'm glad that I was part of a company that's very mature.
Sure.
Because here's the thing, you will probably have heard of this. If you work in like certain companies, the typical, I don't want to generalize, but say much smaller companies where they mentality, you're a clown, you do these events, you got a second job. But Accenture, they think otherwise. Oh, dude, you're talented, man. So the same thing, but you got two angles to look at it.
Sure.
Yeah. So they're all very happy. They have like high respect for me. So, dude, that's a massive thing, man.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best. So I very thankful to have chosen that company, and I only worked for that company. I never jumped to another.
Oh, really? Yeah. So that was that. How long were you there?
5.5 years.
Oh, wow. So I mean that has given you a clear corporate perspective, which I think it's probably helped you in this last 2 years of being full-time solo on your own.
Yeah.
So what's your best gig to date?
Best gig? Okay, this is difficult. Best gig.
There's got to be one that has really just it's resonated well for you, lah.
The problem is there are lots of good gigs. Best gig.
You don't have to name a client in case you don't want to offend them. But
best gig. Okay, for best gig for 2019, I would say is Dell dinner. So this was interesting because normally when they asked me to MC and also perform like a 20-minute slot of stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And normally for big companies like Dell and all that, I know when it comes to comedy, my expectations, I won't get the whole crowd. Because I'll probably get the top management stuff,
Okay.
Maybe the ones who are like the lower ranked one, I may not get. Not to say look down on them, but they are more of like I'm not too sure if they follow comedy and all that. But interestingly, when I performed stand-up comedy, each and every one of them got the jokes.
Okay.
So that shocked me by mine, because normally 500 staff, right?
Yep.
It's always the top, like the 20% top management that will get the more like, intelligent stuff and things like that. But this one Dell surprised me, and I gave them feedback on stage. I said, wow, normally in a corporate world, I gave them whatever I just said, and I told them, you know what, as an XPS owner, I'm going to buy another XPS, and they all clap.
Okay.
Because I told them that was last year was also the year where I bought a Dell XPS because my previous laptop fried.
Okay.
Because I was doing all this Adobe CS6 and all that. And the cheap laptop couldn't handle it. So
But besides that, I mean, is there any gig that you want to forget for life?
Forget? Oh yes, forget. Yes, I'm glad you answered. This one I know because I got very few bad gigs I definitely can remember. Okay, one was in what was it? Forgot the bar deal. This is at Oasis Damansara.
Oh, okay.
What's the chain?
Tom, Dick and Harry.
Is it? I think Tom, Dick and Harry. I think they had a stout campaign. Like a black I forgot. I think it was Guinness Stout or no one.
Okay.
I don't know why I accepted that gig.
Okay.
So the problem is, comedy at a bar is very difficult. It's because people go to a bar to drink and to chat with their friends.
True.
Mainly this one, you want to talk over something on it's always to talk. So when people already have their agenda, if you want to do comedy at a bar, it needs to be ticketed, and people need to know that you can only enter that section because there's a comedy show.
Correct.
So at that time, it was also my fault. I should have said this to the organizer, but I immediately accepted it.
Right.
So this is where I'm supposed to perform only 10 minutes only.
Okay.
They only wanted 10 minutes. So luckily it's only 10 minutes and not like 30.
Right.
So I went there and people started making noise. And at one point people like, they started booing like, oh. And the reason why they boo is because I was getting in the way of their agenda. You get it? They are talking and I'm there talking. So two things are colliding and that was messed up. So yeah, that was the only gig that was actually booed off stage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When was this?
It was 2 years ago lah.
Okay.
2018, yeah.
So what else do you have? I mean, have you set some goals now? You know, now that you're doing this full time. I mean, so you know, you're doing comedy, you're emceeing.
Yeah.
You're
Acting
doing...
also. Like recently I went to commercials and all that.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. I wanted to diversify lah.
Understood. So that, and then you obviously do your vlogs.
Yeah.
So that's 4 things that keep you busy, I guess, round the clock.
Yeah.
What else are you looking into?
Last year I started doing some motivational stuff. So I did one for
saw
IQI.
that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
For IQI, the real estate agents.
Okay.
They wanted like a mix, motivation with a bit of comedy. So I did that also. But that's like the least one. So for now it's MC, comedy and acting.
Understood.
And all the online stuff for marketing, the online content.
Of course. So who motivates you? Or well, actually, let me take that back. Who do you look up to as a comedy great that you admire and topmost on your list?
Okay, so for me, I would say Trevor Noah in terms of career.
Oh, okay.
Because in terms of career, because Trevor Noah is like
the fastest growth I've seen.
Could say, but for me it's because he's like he has the whole package.
True.
He's not like a super niche in something, you know.
No.
But he has the whole package. He's a good TV host.
Yep.
He's also good at improv, spontaneous one. Because if you follow the Daily Show, they got one where they obviously the normal Daily Show, and then there's another one where they take another camera. It's not the main camera where he'll talk to the audience, and that is real improv.
The in-between moments. And that part is the bomb. I watched it. Yeah, I love it.
So that is a different skill set already, rather. So that's one thing. Another thing is his stand-up is also pretty good. So he has like this whole package, and right now America is riding on this diversity wave. Yep. So you see people like Hassan Minhaj, Ronnie Cheng.
Correct.
And so yeah, I like this three actually: Hassan Minhaj, Ronnie Cheng,
and I think they're all doing very, very well.
Yeah, correct. So these three. But if you talk about who do I enjoy as an audience watching stand-up comedy, I would say Bill Burr.
Okay.
Because his Netflix special is really hardcore. Because the thing, when you become a stand-up comedy, it's harder to laugh when you watch stand-up comedy, because you start predicting the punchlines and all that. But Bill Burr still makes me laugh lah. So that's for Bill Burr. In terms of like stand-up comedy, I look up to only for stand-up comedy, not the career, but just the way they deliver and all that. I would say Jim Gaffigan. Okay. So Jim Gaffigan is a American comedian, white comedian. He's a bit plump, and the reason why I like him is this guy is bloody hilarious, but he's clean, and that is very rare in America. Because in America, everyone swears, everyone uses sex jokes and all that, but not him.
Wow.
But he's like hilarious. Like for me, Jerry Seinfeld, I respect his career, but for stand-up, I'm like 50-50 for me lah. Yeah, because it doesn't really hit hard. But Jim Gaffigan can be as clean as Jerry Seinfeld, but like to me, just 3 times funnier. I know I just said that probably get murdered for those who like comedy fans. Oh, how can you say that to Jerry Seinfeld? But yeah, it's just a personal thing.
No, of course, no, which is fine. You know, opinions.
Opinions.
You know, but I like that. I've never heard of that guy, so I need to go look him up because like you said, a clean comedian.
Yeah, I'll send you a clip.
Please. That's awesome. What about locally?
Okay, locally I would say Jason.
Okay.
Jason in terms of career.
Okay.
Because Jason is very similar. So he had a professional job, doctor.
Yep.
Then after that he left his job, and he's also financial savvy. He's also one of the very few Malaysian comedians where he can do a solo show overseas and still sell out. Now this is very difficult because a lot of Malaysian comedians to sell out locally is really difficult. Yep. But he can sell out overseas. Like he did like 20 over shows all across Australia. Correct. In Perth, Adelaide and all that, and he managed to sell out nearly every single show. Yep. So that is the dream of every comedian. So number one is you have like what's that, small slots in a big show. Yep. Then after that you move up to or trying to get corporate gigs.
Yep.
After that, you have your solo show.
Yep.
After that, you have solo shows different places. After that, you want to sell out, like where your solo show starts to make more money than your corporate. So Jason has reached that level where he can do a solo show and it will sell out.
Yeah.
So for me, career-wise, Jason, if you talk about pure stand-up, like who do I enjoy like watching locally and I laugh, it'll be Rizal Van Gazel.
Okay. Awesome. Well, and so what's like next for you? Like, have you set some goals per se?
Okay, so interestingly for 2020, actually today is the day I'm going to type out my goals. I'm going to be at a cafe, type out. I mean, but again, I got a rough idea for 2020.
Okay.
So I'm going to do my first 1 hour special.
Okay.
It'll happen in August.
Okay.
So why August is because I don't want to fight with Olympics and Euro 2020.
Right.
So it's just right after that. I've already checked the dates.
Okay.
So it'll be mid of August.
Okay.
I'm going to do it in KL and Penang.
Okay.
And I'm also looking at other places. Maybe KK, maybe Labuan. So I'm trying to think. But the first one is obviously KL and Penang because I
Okay.
already got a theatre and all that. Yeah.
Understood. So do you have any regrets so far at all? I mean, I'm not just talking about just career-wise,
Yeah.
but is there any? Because there you are, you're already doing this motivational stuff.
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you seem to be a very positive person yourself. So do you have any regrets thus far in life?
To be honest, no. I think it's because of the mindset. Because when I left my job, I told myself there's going to be ups and downs, and I told myself, never mind, it's okay. At least I got a nice story to tell. So, for example, last year April was a mind-blowing month for me.
Okay.
Because April was I would say rock bottom in terms of financially,
Okay.
in terms of income. But of course, luckily I had all the backups with me.
Sure.
So in April, I actually earned less than expected fresh graduate, and that was like a mind-blowing thing. I was like, shit, these months are bad, man. Then I sat down and said, what could I do to make this better?
Yep.
And then in May, it happened the same thing. So these 2 months really changed my what do you call it? My cycle. You talk to, you go and listen to Tony Robbins, all this Brian Tracy and all that.
Yep.
They say success is 80% psychology,
Right,
and
of course.
20% mechanics and all that. So April and May had a psychological hit on me to really change. And interesting, when it came to June was one of my highest ever.
Yep.
It was way more than Accenture. And then last 3 months were way more. So it was hitting rock bottom. It was hitting rock bottom at the same time. It was also hitting very high. But on average, it was very good last year. So if you talk about regrets, personally, no. I wouldn't say I would have even like. Because I'm happy that I took this path. It is
Okay, that's what I was coming to.
Yeah.
So as long as you've come to terms with the fact that that was something you needed to do and you're glad you did it.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of people, I mean, it's good that we have the option to, God has blessed us with some talent, so we're taking advantage of it and we're using it for positive impact. But not everybody can just happily say, rock up one day and say, okay, I'm gonna quit my day job. But I know people who have moved on to, I don't know, bake, this and that, some ladies have done. And there's quite a few of us in the industry who walked away. I mean, for me, I started in it, so I can't say the same. I've never worked for anyone, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, really? You started straight away in the
Dude, Jiggee turns 20 this year. I started it in university when I was a third year student.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Damn, crazy respect to you, man.
I've just worked from ground up. I mean, I did part-time gigs while I was a student.
No, but you never had a corporate job.
No, I've never worked for anyone.
What's your education again?
I did an international business and management degree in Michigan.
Oh, damn. Then
So I started a company in America.
So you're disowned by your family for a point in time.
Well, actually, but the ironic thing, even though I have two Sloanese parents, they honestly didn't give two hoots.
Really, yeah?
They never...
I mean, they didn't love you,
Yeah, that could be it. They never had a say in what we wanted to do, or they just let us go. We just
That's good, I think, that my father is also the same, so that proves, I think it's a Sloanese thing.
But also because my dad is old school, so there was a major disconnect. He didn't have a clue what I was doing half the time.
Okay.
So he never understood the industry I was in, which is why his last understanding of what I did, he just assumed I was a clown. Even though I retired in 2002 after 6 years of being a clown, and I started the event company, but he couldn't wrap his head around it. So long story short, I just did my thing and that was it, So I mean, not many people, I can't relate to those who worked for somebody and then walked away from it, or worked for an organization. But I do admire it, and I think it's actually very remarkable, and you are one of them. You, Jason, and that's just guys in entertainment, but there are a lot of others in other fields as well. So I think the purpose of me wanting you to share your story, and given the fact you're what, 30?
This year 31.
There you go. So I think it's a very, very early age to take that leap of faith, you see. To walk away from comfort zone. And I think what you did was to walk away from a comfort zone.
Correct.
You know what I mean? You walked away from some form of stability, which is, you've got a good job with a Fortune 500, and obviously there was great room for career progression, and who knows, where that can go. But I think you found a greater calling in what you did, and you decided to take that whole plunge and leap of faith. And I think the whole purpose of this was just to, I think more people need to hear that, and more people need to wake up and grab life by the horns lah.
Correct.
They need to grow some balls lah, and just do it, right? One of the reasons why I just woke up and said I'm just gonna do this lah. I've been talking about my own talk show for donkey years, and it finally hit me like, okay lah, podcasts are the way forward. So don't have to wait for people to come and dump money at me. I'll just do it myself lah, And we'll see where it goes from here, I'm not just doing this for likes and views, but I think everyone's got a story, and whoever I handpick to be on the show, I think they have a story, and I think you got an angle. I didn't even know a little bit of the fact that the corporate angle, but hearing you talk about it, I think that was quite cool, lah. And I really think you should do something about the whole financial.
Correct, because I did post bits and here, like bits about here and there on social media, and people also commented and messaged about.
No, because what I see you doing in your vlogs, you keep it real. You're talking about daily stuff. In fact, that's where I think maybe a bit of Trevor Noah is going on, like daily show element.
So the whole point of what's going on lah is I wanted it to be comedy and also educational.
Correct. And I see you doing that. So I think after hearing you speak, you should honestly talk about that bit where people don't just plan the basics and then they live beyond their means, Because I would say 80% of people live beyond their means.
Correct.
I mean, everyday young blood lah,
That's why I did a video on this card calligraphy and also education.
Okay.
And off my mind, I suggested, I think one of the subjects that I think should be introduced is finance,
right?
And the reason why I say that is because financial literacy in Malaysia is very low, even in the corporate world.
Of course.
I just give you a rough stats. I've spoken to, I think, about 100 plus people, and I asked them, do you track your expenses daily?
Nobody does.
Only 2 to 3.
There you go.
That's very low percentage. And then my mother is also, she's in public mutual. She does unit trust consulting. And then she tells me there are a lot, I think more than youngsters, they don't plan their retirement plan.
No.
Because most of them think the EPF will take care.
Right.
But what they are not aware is the EPF is there to assist them. Not to fully. So
because cost of living is constantly going up.
Exactly.
And if you don't start that investment or the financial planning for your later years, everyone's going to be royally fucked lah. So what else do you want to just put out there and keep for us to look out to and keep an eye out for, or just anything that you want to, or maybe I should get you to do a set now, give me a 5-minute set.
No lah.
Why? No. I'll put you on the hot seat lah.
Okay, now you're being a Sloanist fan.
I am, dude. You think what? I need to get my money's worth, okay? I need my morning dose of laughter.
No, this is like Deepavali gathering.
Exactly.
John, you come and dance now.
Alright.
That day you danced that song,
the funny thing, growing up, me and my brothers and sisters had to freaking sing. We were like fucking jukeboxes for the family gatherings.
For me, it was dancing.
Yeah, we had to do that. So anyway, don't evade the point. Give me a spiel right now.
Really?
Yeah, dude, of course.
Okay lah. People asked, were my parents supportive when I first started comedy back in 2012? And I said yes. My mother attended my first 3 shows. But after my 3rd show, I asked my mother, I said, Ma, I'm not sure if you're attending my show because you want to support me as your son or because you have other reasons. But for my next show, I want you to only attend if you genuinely think I'm funny. Since then, she's never attended.
Oh my god. Ooh, okay, that's kind of hurt. But is that legit or what?
No, that's just a joke.
A bloody idiot. Alright, well, that would have been nice. So, I mean, do you actually share from real life experiences? Because that's quite...
definitely. So, a lot of people ask me this, are jokes real? It depends on the comedian. To me, most jokes, the baseline is true. But of course, the details are exaggerated. Right. For me, I like a joke to be believable. Okay. And the more believable it is, the more investment you get from the crowd. People are, they can relate and all
That's
that.
True. That's true. So what is your advice to, say, another budding comedian, since you're about technically what, 8 years in the industry?
Yeah, 8 years. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, 8 years.
Okay,
It's
so
8
what
years.
would you put out there to somebody else who is taking that, who's now in your shoes, are probably in college or just, you know, starting their career, but, you know, comedy is close to their heart. What would you put out there to them? Because they can probably relate, and you can relate better to them.
Okay, the first thing I would say is you need to understand your why. You look at you look at all successful companies, successful people. They start off with their whys first.
Yep.
You can, for those of you who are watching this video, you can go Google golden circle, and then you'll know. You start off with your why, how, then what.
Okay.
So establish this tree first. Why? Most people do stand-up comedy is because of they want to try it out, or because they have their passion. But to understand why is very important. Most people won't pick money because there's not much money in comedy, just to let you know. But some people pick fame. If you're picking fame because you're on stage, right? People look at you, people laugh. Oh, that's a drug, or no? People laugh at you.
Right.
It's like you feel very on top of the clouds and all that.
Yep.
But if you're picking fame, you won't go far. Do it because you want to make people laugh. Do it because you want to entertain. You want to add value.
Yep.
So that's number one. Why? Number two is the whole idea is the whole idea is you start off with to come up with a 5 minutes polished set. So what is the definition of a polished set? Is where you have performed at least 10 times using that set, and 90% of the time has worked.
Right.
So that is a polished set. A lot of people they do well once and twice. This joke works. No, you need to keep performing to make sure that the joke is really polished. After you have done 5 minutes, you replicate that with 10 minutes.
Right.
Then you replicate 15, 20 until you have 30 minutes. Then you can do it at a weekend show, like a paid show.
Right.
And then after that, when you have slightly more than 30 minutes, you can maybe even headline a show. So that's the progress. And at the side, there are also other skills, like I said, the finance part and all that.
Yeah.
Like I told them, I always tell people in performing arts, like, you doing what you do is just one side.
Yep.
There's people, time and money management, which you also need to upskill yourself. So like for me, on a weekly basis, I'll go and just watch videos on these three things.
Dude, you should really do a little informational, educational video on this, because I think you're smack where you should be, and you can relate better to any fledgling people who want to take this whole jump into entertainment or comedy, you know? Because the seniors, the big boys, or those who've been doing it forever, you know, they probably have a different story.
Correct, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think hearing you speak, I think because you've got that financial savviness that comes with your, what you were, you know, exposed to and trained. So I really feel that people will benefit if you kept it in layman terms.
Correct,
but kept it real lah.
Correct.
I suggest you should do one. So I mean, maybe it can be less comedy but more educational. Or edutainment lah. You know, you can pepper it with some, you know, color.
Oh, that's the term, edutainment. Or you just coined that word?
Oh no, edutainment's a huge word.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I learned a new word today.
Yeah.
See, never stop learning.
There you go. So it's funny you would say that. Literally 20 over years ago, my late professor, he gave me a one-liner, and I hold on to that very powerfully till today. He says education's a lifelong process. You never stop learning.
Correct. Yeah.
Whether he coined it or not, I don't care. But his name was Dale Haywood. Sorry. And I've actually held on to that ever since. And I'm a firm believer in just constantly
learning, right?
Just learning. Like even doing this podcast, learning more and more about what's cutting edge, what's going on. You know, I'm still got a long way to go, but I feel that with each episode I drop, and with the feedback I get, it's only a matter of time. Like, you know, I think it's really good to, like, even yesterday somebody commented on the episode I did with JJ. Do you know JJ, right?
Yeah, JJ.
So, some random guy is like, I just stumbled upon this. I don't know where in the world he's from. He's like, I can't believe you only have 217 subscribers. Your show people need to see this. This is good. I'm like, oh wow, okay, thank you. He's like, don't worry, it'll come. I was like, okay, I don't know who this bloke is, but it was just random. I don't think he's Malaysian, I don't know where he's from. So likewise, you know, I mean, I'm not doing this just to hit the likes, but it's more like, I think everybody's got a story.
Correct.
You know, and I thought that even this week's episode, there was a young lady who's 25 and Sammy, and you know, I feel like age is literally not a barrier.
Correct.
I mean, I literally had this 81-year-old uncle on my show. And here's a gentleman who's worked for 6 decades, 6.5, and then there's you guys. You've only been working not even a decade yet. Wow.
Not even a decade.
Yeah, not even a full decade. You know, and so the way you look at life, the way they look at life, and I think listeners, viewers, they can learn so much from just the different guests that I bring on the show,
Yeah, correct.
and it's like I had an 11-year-old girl, well, another one was 13, all this. So it's like, it's really interesting to hear the stories that each of you have. So what would you want to just put it out there as a wrap-up?
As a rapper, okay, yeah, do come for 1 hour special. It's in August, so don't worry, it doesn't clash with Olympics and Euro. Olympics and Euro, I think they end of July or beginning of August. So yes, follow my page, Gajen Nad.
Don't worry, I'll drop your Insta handle on this.
And I think that, another thing, the world is too serious. Be more open and laugh more.
Awesome. Alright folks, well ladies and gentlemen, this is Gajen Nad, Malaysia's first Chindian comedian. I think he's quite cheeky enough to exploit that fact. And so now he's a comedian, he's a vlogger, he's a MC, and also now a TV star. Well,
no,
not a star lah. Okay lah, so TV bokana lah, because don't forget, I also had my little fame with the Petronas ad back in the day. You remember that?
Yeah. That's where I first saw you lah.
Really, yeah?
Yeah.
Even though that's like,
still the best ad lah.
Exactly, now 17 years later, people still just, completely... I was hiking last week in goddamn Bukit Gasing. I passed his 3 akas.
Drop me here lah.
I passed his 3 akas. She's like, hey, the Petronas fella lah.
Oh yes.
I'm hiking in Bukit Gasing, dude. Last week, I'm like, hello, hi, yes, that's me.
They specifically said that, with the beard.
Dude, just crossing each other on the trail. I was like, man, that is just gonna be something that's just gonna be, we're gonna live it for the rest of our lives. But it was a great time and a great thing to do. So, who knows what gigs you're gonna land.
Yeah, that's why you never know, this may be big and all that. But just keep doing it. You'll hit a big break. Because when I did the What's Going On so my first 2 videos didn't hit it. Then on my 3rd video, there's a Singaporean girl who got kidnapped in the Gojek. So that one went viral and that one got me the traction.
Yeah, because I've been watching your videos and I like the fact that you keep it raw. You literally don't mince your words.
Yeah.
You are just... You're calling a spade lah. And I think people here all want to put on their gloves and be very tender.
Yeah, correct.
Nobody wants to hit hard without the gloves.
Correct.
That means go for the jugular. And I think in comedy, that's very important.
Yeah.
Here it's all about... So now the thing is, I find comedians are getting out more and more. They just... back in the day, it was... Honestly, the most risque one was Joanne Kampopo. But hers was from that... from a certain... but now, keeping it real with everyday stuff, I think before that was, you had Comedy Court, Ellen and Indy. And then of course you had the Instant Cafe Theatre Boys and all that. But Comedy Court were one of the few guys who really... They ran a train on the Den comedians.
Yeah.
And then of course in the last 10 years, we cut Rosie threatening to bomb you. Nobody wanted to say anything lah. Yeah, have you seen the video? The phone call?
Oh yeah.
And Taken?
Yeah.
You watched the video?
Yeah, I watched the video.
Oh, that guy is on the ball. I gotta find out who that joker is and put him on the show lah. Malaysian guy.
Oh, which one? The one who did the Taken one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know him. Yeah, he's a stand-up comedian as well.
Oh, is it? Wow.
Stephen Bones.
Okay, he's really good.
Yeah.
That was really good. Yeah. So maybe I should go look for him. Stephen Bones, I'll come for you soon. Alright. Well, anyways, folks, so this is Gajen Nad, and thanks for being on the show, man.
Hey, thanks, John. Thanks,
yeah,
John. Much
so,
appreciated.
ladies and gentlemen, you can tune into this. This is happening today on a Friday, but it'll be coming down in the next couple of weeks. So, this is the Jiggee Jon Show episode. Hey, never mind the episode. Season 2, that's what's important. You're over and out.